the lead this morning, as we talked about a moment ago, are these world leaders kicking off the G8 summit in L'Aquila, Italy, where the economy certainly will be front and center. President Obama arriving moments ago there after the two-day stop that he had in Russia. You see him exiting Air Force One with the First Lady. In addition to the presidents of the G8 nations, Russia and a number of emerging countries also are going to attend this meeting. Key issues likely to be international reaction to the global economic crisis, certainly. You'd expect the economy to be front and center at a meeting like this. Controlling volatility in the oil market, something we've heard about here domestically the last couple of days. And even possibly replacing the dollar as the reserve currency, something some other nations have at least talked about a little bit. Now, let's get an instant audit on all of these things. And Ashley and I are joined by Monty Guild as the CEO of Guild Investment Management. Monty is live in, of all places, Los Angeles, where it's the middle of the night. So thanks for coming in, Monty. We appreciate this. All right, let's talk about the G8. What importance do you assign to it, and what, if anything, do you think will be accomplished?
The G8 summit, Connell, is a traditional event that basically is for PR, for the politicians of the major countries and the emerging countries to talk to their people about what they're doing to work together. The issues will be broad, they'll be glossed over. The dollar will remain as the world reserve currency, although the Chinese, Russians, and others will criticize it. And they'll all talk about how they're not going to do any protectionist measures and they're going to keep free trade going.
Well, sometimes they talk about one thing and do another, which has been the concern about protectionism throughout this economic crisis. As an investor, is that something that you're looking at, trying to read between the lines to see who really means it?
Exactly, Connell. That's exactly our situation. Nobody means it, but they're going to be as surreptitious as they can be about their protectionist measures. But the pain, economic pain, is just being felt now in most countries and gets worse every quarter, will continue to get bad until 2010. So the real fear of protectionism will be between now and, say, early 2010.
Monty, this is Ashley in London. You know, we've been following this, and the general consensus in Europe that this G8 summit really is nothing more than a meeting to make statements, and it's really sandwiched between the G20 that took place in London earlier this year, and perhaps the bigger issue, the G20 coming up in Pittsburgh. But with regard to credit crunch and the banking system, do you expect some sort of lively debate at all on the best policies? Gordon Brown talked about a second wake-up call is needed, perhaps hinting at a second stimulus package. And of course, then you have the Germans saying, no, 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 restraint, restraint. Do you think that will be a part of the discussion this week?
Yes, Ashley, I think you're exactly correct. Our view is that there'll be a second stimulus package coming from Western Europe, ex the Germans, and from the United States. The Germans and the Euro community in general are doing a lot more pump priming than they're admitting to, and therefore it is somewhat let's say, conservative the way they're stating their issues, but they're acting much more aggressively than they're speaking.
All right, Monty, thanks a lot.